radius of the shaded regions above in terms of d is equal to a, d squared times the sum of pi divided by 4 minus d divided by 2, b, d squared times the sum of pi cubed divided by d minus 2. No, what's pi again? 3 point something? Oh, this is ridiculous. I've never used pi. Anna's never going to use pi? Why is it called pi anyway? Okay, focus. Or c, d cubed minus the sum of pi squared minus d c. Miss Brown, she's copying my test.
Hey, cheater.
I did not cheat. That Stacy Hinkhouse is a conniving little...
Whatever, it's your business.
I did not cheat. Don't you smirk at me. If you're so perfect, then why are you in detention all the time?
I'm not in detention. I work here. Hey, look, what would you say if I told you I could help you finish your test?
Really?
Yeah. You keep the test in file.
We're going through here?
So burn nothing won't even notice. Just me.
Thank you.
Now hurry up, finish your test.
You know, you really are something, Jake.
I'll watch the door.
Hi, Tom Tom. Hey, Jenna. Hi, Beaver. How's everything at the dam? So, how'd yours come out, Rink? Not so good. Yeah, mine aren't so hot either. Nuh-uh. Tom Tom, yours are great.
You're the best.
God, you're so photogenic.
I'll meet you out front, okay?
Do whatever you want. It's not like she needs a play-by-play. Freak is away. See ya. Jenna, can I talk to you a tiny sec? So, I told Chris Grandy me and the 6 chicks were going to your party tonight, and he said he wanted to come with. Really? Yeah, it's too bad we can't make it, because we really wanted to. Didn't we, girls?
We totally did.
So much. We're so sorry. Yeah, Miss Measley's totally up our butts with this group project proposal, and Chris is going to come over and help us out. So I guess he can't come either. I could write your report for you. Fabuloso.
You may begin now.
There have been many events that have occurred throughout history involving cheating. Some of the main events I wrote on the board today, like in 1779, the first honor code at College of William and Mary was established. In 1880, dishonesty becomes common in white males. In 1889, Boston newspaper reports an article on techniques of cheating. In 1897, Harvard announces students who cheat will be expelled. More than 20 men cheated on entrance exam for Princeton in 1902.
Our teachers taught us sharing is caring, but they probably weren't referring to test answers.
An entire class at Anderson High School was caught cheating. The teacher knew that something was wrong when everybody got a perfect score on the test.
Because everyone's suddenly getting 100%? Not suspicious at all. A major lack of common sense aside, the plan does show how easy it is to cheat with today's technology. WWJ-TV reports 2 juniors at Anderson High School in Southgate, Michigan, admitted to taking cell phone photos of their answer key while their teacher was in the hall. They then shared the information through a group text.
Just because you can take a picture with your cell phone of anything that you want, it doesn't mean that it's a good idea.
The most immediate punishment, while everyone else is enjoying summer break, the entire class has to come back and retake the test. The school superintendent said further consequences will depend on each student's history of misconduct, and suspensions in the fall are a possibility.
Time for a 4-question math test. When you're ready, you can begin. Okay. Do you know what cheating is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's, say if you're like doing homework and you don't know that math problem. And you use a calculator and then you get the answer and write that. That's cheating. It's where you look at someone else's paper in school if you're taking a test.
Cheating is when somebody gets the answers that aren't, like to a test or a quiz or something, that aren't theirs. Like they can get it from a classmate or from a teacher.
Cheating is when you copy someone else's work.
Yeah. Have you ever cheated?
No. No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
No.
Alright. I've never cheated before. Or it depends on your definition of cheating. Like, no, but like friends help me with homework sometimes, but I never have actually cheated. So never.
What is your name?
My name is Garrett.
Are you a cheater?
Yes, I am.
Do you cheat in school?
Yes.
When did you... It's okay. When did you start cheating?
Probably elementary school. Probably about 4th grade.
Alright. Have you ever seen someone cheat?
No. Yes.
Yeah. Has anyone in your class ever got caught cheating?
No.
No. Alright, thank you. Have you ever seen someone cheating?
Yes.
Did they get caught?
No.
How are they cheating?
They like wrote answers on their arm
Oh, have you seen any other ways of cheating?
No.
No? Okay, thanks. How often do you cheat?
Not often.
Like every test?
No.
On tests, more rare than I do on classwork.
Every 1 or 2 weeks.
How do people cheat?
Some people can cheat by asking their friends for the answers, or, yeah, that's really the only thing I can think of. Like if anyone who's already had the quiz or test before, giving them the answers.
How do you cheat? I just kind of look over and write it down fast.
What is your most used cheating tactic?
You just look over to the paper next to you. Hopefully they're on the same page, and you copy down the right answer. Only if the person is smart, though.
What is the punishment for cheating?
The punishment for cheating would be, well, I don't know. I don't know what the punishment is.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not the principal. I don't know.
Well, the punishment for cheating is, well, they could get in a lot of trouble, and they can go to the office, or a teacher can get really mad at them and single them out. But yeah, it's not a good thing to cheat, since most likely the teacher will find out.
If someone got caught cheating, what would the teacher do? They would kick you out of the classroom and send you to the principal's office, where matters would be handled there.
One time there's this guy in my pod, and he wasn't really cheating, but he was kind of cheating. And my teacher, even though he just said that the test was easy, she got really mad at him, and she singled him out, and he was crying, and I felt really bad, but shouldn't cheat.
Have you ever been caught cheating?
Yes. No, I have not.
What was your punishment?
Nothing.
Nothing. Have you ever seen someone get punished for cheating?
Yep.
What was their punishment?
0 on a test.
Okay, thanks.
What is your school's cheating policy?
Most teachers, if they catch someone cheating, they give you a 0.
Do you know of anybody who's been caught cheating?
Yes, I have.
And why did you decide to cheat?
Because I did not study enough and did not know the answer.
What do you cheat on the most?
Mostly tests. In, let's say, math class.
How do teachers in your school keep students from cheating?
They try to spread them out as much as they can.
How many kids in your school do you think cheat?
Probably about 60-65%.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How often do you catch kids cheating?
About once a month.
What is the punishment for kids who cheat?
I take the assignment and or the test away from them, and then I will give them the opportunity to redo it at a later date for partial credit.
What do you do to prevent kids from cheating?
Definitely circulate the room on a regular basis, and I never lose eye contact with any of the kids.
What is the most common cheating technique that you see through kids?
Writing stuff down either on their hands or on a piece of paper.
Do you have any good cheating stories?
A couple. I have kids that have used a writing utensil to write answers and then twirl it around and try and read off of that. And they also have put answers in the person in front of them on their hoodie and then looked right at their shirt during the test.
What is the school's cheating policy?
I don't know if the school actually has a cheating policy, so to speak. I take care of it in my room. They get a 0 if it's a test. The opportunity to get an actual grade is there if they come in on their own extra time and make up the information that they cheated on. But as far as the school goes, I'm not sure if we have a policy.
Okay. And what do you teach?
I teach Spanish.
What's your name?
Marianne Doolittle.
And what grade level do you teach?
I teach K-2 autistic students.
Okay. How often have you caught kids cheating in the past?
I only caught one child cheating. He was a high schooler. He was in 10th grade. He was attempting to peek in a notebook for an answer for a vocabulary quiz in English.
What is the punishment for kids who cheat?
You would get a 0 on that test or quiz and then have to go to the principal's office.
What do you do to prevent kids from cheating?
Just encourage them to study, encourage them just to have some faith in themselves and just be positive, but, also really practicing and studying outside of school so they can feel confident.
What is the most common cheating technique?
I believe the most common cheating technique would be looking on somebody else's paper.
To prevent cheating, putting up folders before a test stops students from looking at their neighbor's paper. Having cell phones in parking spots on the desk or in the front of the classroom prevents students from looking up answers online. Spacing students out makes it harder for them to see their neighbor's paper. And using one or more version of the test eliminates cheating completely. Teachers can also tell their students to take off their hats before the test and put their water bottles underneath their chairs.
What is this?
Nothing.
Where'd you get this from?
Nowhere.
I'll see you after class. Excuse me.
Yeah?
You're going to the principal's office.
Why?
Because you're cheating.
How?
I heard you asking for the answer.
This is so stupid. I can't even.
Okay, everyone clear your desks. It's time for our math test. You can begin when you're ready. Is that a cell phone? Oh, no. No phones allowed. Why do you cheat?
Because I'm an athlete and I need a high GPA to stay on my team.
I just need to get high grades so that my parents will be proud of me.
I cheat because it's easier than doing the work alone.
I cheat because it's an accepted part in everyday life.
Cheating happens all over the world.
Think back to your academic days. Remember how happy you'd be if the teacher permitted a one-page cheat sheet so you could jot down some key information for an exam?
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Well, one high school student in Kazakhstan really pushed the definition of a cheat sheet. He was caught in a college entrance exam with an incredible 11-meter long cheat sheet that had about 25,000 answers covering 5 subjects. Certainly, students these days are under a lot of pressure, but to go this far is simply unheard of. One local education official took note of the hard work that went into creating the cheat sheet and was regretful that the student would not receive a good test grade. In another remarkable cheating example, the New York Times reported on an incident in China. One group of parents outfitted their children with tiny earpieces, persuaded a teacher to fax them the questions, and then transmitted the answers by cell phone. Another father equipped a student with a mini scanner and had 9 teachers on standby to provide the answers.
education is quite prevalent in India, but we have pictures showing you just how prevalent it is. Photos obtained by reporters of Bihar, India shows parents trying to help their kids cheat on exams so they can pass on to the next grade. Now, how do they do this? They basically scaled the walls of the school building and tried to pass notes with the answers for the tests to their kids.
So in some ways, this is India in a nutshell, and I don't say that pejoratively. I look at this, and of course it's amusing to see the parents climbing the walls, etc. But I see something else. I see people literally trying to climb up in life, right, to a better life. When I see them climbing the walls to help their kids, I don't get the sense of like, oh, they're cheaters, they're terrible. I get the sense like, look at how much they want to help so that their kids can have a better life. Doesn't mean it's right. It's not right. Of course, you got to end the cheating. If it was here in the U.S., we'd arrest them all and put them in prison for 20 years.
Well, 7 parents in India have been arrested for this. 515 students have been expelled, so it was counterproductive to say the least. And it's in a way, you're right, Cenk. I mean, in India right now, there is over 1 billion people living there. And in order to get yourself out of poverty, education is really the only avenue that allows you to do that. And so these parents grew up in poverty, they have their children, and there is no other option. And so they will do everything they can to give their kids the ability to get higher education and move forward in their lives. And it not only helps their kids, it helps them as well.
You ever gone to a class and taken a test and you seriously have no clue as to what you're looking at on the page? You start looking around the room, everybody's writing except for you. I hate that feeling. And then the teacher says, okay, when you're done, you can turn in your test and leave. So you wait for like 5 minutes and then you turn in your test and the teacher gives you that look. You get the test back the next time you go to class and blow! Big old fat F. Then you say, bump this, I'm studying. But if you're like me, you suffer from chronic procrastination and you wait till the night before to even open your book to study, and then you study like a boss, like you cram sesh in effects. You got that book open and you're studying for hours. You quiz yourself, you cover up the answer, and you read yourself the question. You start hyping yourself up like, what? I'm gonna kill this test. Take the test, and blow, big old fat F. So I start doing what some of you guys have probably done at some point. I cheat. Yes, I check my emails and I see what some of you ladies are saying. Swoozie, tell us stories about the old you. I know exactly what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, Swoozie, tell us about when you was a bad boy, because I like the bad boys. I'm gonna give you that today. Here we go. I cheat. But I did it wrong at first. I did what I call now freestyle cheating, where you just kind of turn your head and you peek off of the person next to you's paper. But see, I learned you can't do it like that because there's too many random variables where people write their answers all tiny and small and you can't even read it. It used to frustrate the crap out of me. Like, how am I supposed to cheat off of you if your answer looks like Braille? People used to either write too tiny or they just wrote too sloppy. Because the sloppier your writing is, the longer I have to stare at your paper to figure out whatever your chicken scratch means. And it makes it pretty obvious that I'm trying to cheat. It would make me so mad. I would just want to take my pencil and throw it at them and then run over and rip up the test. How am I supposed to cheat off you when your handwriting looks like the alien hieroglyphics from Lost? Look, right there, you even drew a bird and the numbers from the hatch. So I tried to freestyle cheat and get my test back, and blow, big old fat F. I gave up. I was like, bump it. I'm gonna fail this dumb class. I don't care anymore. But the next test that we had, I started noticing some sketchiness going on in the class. Questionable sounds, like people coughing and sniffling. How come Cheyenne always develops these flu symptoms every time there's a test? And then I saw it. She coughed, and then like 8 people around her all of a sudden would write down an answer. And then she'd sniffle, and the same 8 would write another answer. And I'm like, what the flux capacitor is going on here? This is a multiple choice test. These people are cheating. I look over at the teacher, totally oblivious as to what's going on. I'm like, bump this. Everybody else is cheating. They didn't include me on this. Oh no, it's not going down like this. So I devised a plan. First thing I knew I needed, accomplices. So I got my friend Paul, and I got my friend Josh. I was gonna be the point man, Paul was gonna be the diversion, and Josh didn't do squat, he just got a free ride. So in history class, the day before we actually took the test, he would ask us some of the questions from the answer key. And I'd watch him real carefully. He'd go up to the podium, and he'd always take the answer key with him, and it was always multiple choice. And at the end of class, he would always leave the answer key up there. Alright, so then I get Paul and Josh and I explain my master plan to them. Blueprints, charts, and I go Michael Scofield prison break on these kids. So the day before a test, he gets up like he normally does, goes to the front podium, starts asking us a bunch of questions. The bell rings, he goes back to his desk. Now his name is Mr. Masters. Me and Paul, we give the little signal. Paul walks over to him and he's like, Mr. Masters, I have some questions about the Embargo Act of 1807. So then I activate phase 2. I walk over to the podium and I open up the answer key and flip to the questions that are going to be on tomorrow's test, and I start talking all loud. Okay, attention class, I'm going to read off all the answers to the test. B, B, C, D, A, B, B, D, C. Mr. Masters looks up like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry. Nobody's gonna hear me. Who's gonna sit here and memorize all these answers anyway? A, B, B, C, 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 C. There's nobody here. So then he just shake his head and go back to answering Paul's question. Unbeknownst to the teacher, I've got a tape recorder tucked away in my pocket recording all the answers. Boom! It's not cheating. It's giving yourself a successful advantage. Like a boss. Me, Paul, and Josh meet out on the patio. It's time to memorize this bad boy. Take a wild guess what we do next. We turn those answers into a rap song. What? Let's go. B, B, C, yeah. A, G, D, yeah. A, C, B, B, C, B. Next day we walk into class. We about to handle our business. Stone cold. Game face is on. It's go time. We all sit on opposite ends of the class because we know we're about to get A's. What you gonna do about it? You can't say nothing. But see, now when I start taking these tests, everybody thinks I'm crazy because I'm sitting there mumbling myself like, B, B, G. Lord of mercy. Get the test back, blow, big old fat.
We conducted our own anonymous study on cheating through SurveyMonkey over Facebook. We had a total of 27 respondents, majority of whom were college-age students. When asked, have you ever cheated in school? 60% of them said yes, where 40% of them said no. We then asked, how did you cheat? Here are some of the answers. Copied homework, asked for help from a friend, glanced at other papers, looked at someone's answers, looked at a neighbor's paper, computer, used another person's paper, looked at someone else's paper, copied off a friend. I used to share test answers with my best friend in public policy, phoned people, copied lab work, and talked with other people during the test to compare answers. Next, we asked them if they had ever been caught cheating. Just over 60% reported that they had never been caught cheating. We finally asked them what their school's cheating policy was. Many of them said that they would receive a 0 on whatever assignment they cheated on. One responded you would fail the class if you were caught cheating. A few respondents said there was a 0 tolerance policy for cheating at their schools. And many respondents did not know what their school's cheating policy was.
An 800-page report from the Georgia governor's office alleges pervasive and serious cheating has taken place in Atlanta public schools, but not from the students.
By the teachers and administrators. Teachers at the center of a massive cheating scandal in Atlanta.
178 educators, 38 of them school principals.
The governor's report claims teachers and administrators, including former Superintendent Beverly Hall, either participated in, covered up, encouraged, or simply knew about efforts to raise district standardized test scores by changing student answers, allowing them to work in groups, or just giving them the answers.
At one elementary school, according to the report, 4 educators gathered at a colleague's home in Douglas County one weekend to have a, quote, changing party, using answer sheets to change students' wrong answers to right.
Atlanta's high test scores have been under scrutiny for some time, with media outlets like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution raising red flags as early as 2008. But the special report is the most damning investigation yet. Atlanta's WXIA breaks down the numbers.
Out of the 56 Atlanta schools investigated, 44 were involved in cheating. That's 80% of the schools that administer the CRCT in Atlanta. 178 principals and teachers were involved, according to the report. 82 of them confessed.
So they juke the stats. What's the problem? According to the report, besides the claims that some teachers were threatened and humiliated by their coworkers if they considered blowing the whistle, bumping test scores has actually hurt the students behind the allegedly falsified numbers. Because test scores were inflated, thousands of children were denied the opportunity to receive tutoring that may have helped them do better in school. The New York Times spoke to a parent and former teacher who says this case is just another example of how the emphasis on standardized tests is actually hurting American students. It becomes a question of what it means to be educated. Does it mean the highest test score? I would argue it does not. This is part and parcel of a general dysfunction that isn't particular to Atlanta public schools. Criticisms of test-centric education are nothing new, but of course, this goes beyond teaching to the test. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports investigators emphasized 3 factors behind the cheating and described it as a vicious cycle. The district set unrealistic test score goals or targets. A culture of pressure and retaliation spread throughout the district, and Hall emphasized test results and public praise at the expense of ethics. Because the targets rose each time a school attained them, the pressure ratcheted up in classrooms each year. Cheating one year created a need for more cheating the next. APS's interim superintendent has vowed those responsible will never teach again. Meanwhile, reports say the investigation's findings have been handed over to district attorneys. As of Wednesday morning, no word on arrests or charges filed.
Some alternatives to testing are assigning essays, using group work, research, having class discussions, and debates. These alternatives help decrease the amount of cheating.
Statistics have shown that cheating among high school students has risen drastically during the past 50 years. In the past, it was the struggling students who were more likely to cheat just to get by. Today, it is also the above-average college-bound students who are cheating. 73% of all test takers, including prospective graduate students and teachers, agree that most students do cheat at some point, and 86% of high schoolers agree. Grades rather than education have become the major focus of many students. In the 1940s, 20% of college students admitted to cheating, while today between 75 and 98% of college students admit to it. Cheating peaks in high school when about 75% of students admit to some sort of academic misgivings. In a middle school survey, 2 out of 3 respondents reported cheating on exams, while 9 out of 10 reported copying another student's homework. Cheating does not end at graduation. Resume fraud is a serious issue for employers concerned about the level of integrity of new employees.
Here are some statistics on college students cheating that were gathered through peer review articles. In 1964, Bill Bowers conducted one of the first studies on academic cheating. He revealed that 75% of respondents had cheated at least once in their academic careers. In 1980, Barron conducted a cheating study. The findings showed that 75.5% of undergrads from several majors had cheated while in college. In 1992, Mead did a study and reported that 87% of students in various majors at top universities had cheated. In 2002 through 2005, McCabe surveyed 50,000 students from 60 campuses nationwide and found that 70% of them had cheated. More recently, in 2011, Jones surveyed students and 92% of them reported that they had or they knew someone who cheats. In 2012, a study conducted in New Zealand found that 91% of students disclosed some form of engagement in copying, 34% in cheating, and 60% in collusion. These studies prove that cheating is a problem in society. That's why we decided to analyze why students cheat, how they cheat, and most importantly, how can we stop them from cheating.
Okay, I'm in humanities class taking a test, and in the corner of my eye, I notice a very suspicioso-looking book chilling underneath somebody's desk. And then a few seconds later, I see an equally suspicioso toe creep in and turn the page, and I'm like, oh, how cute. Somebody's cheating. See, in high school, if the teacher catches you cheating, you get an F in the class. In college, they kick you out of school, so it's a different ballgame. So I will take my F like a house. Thank you very much. Then this girl, Sarah, takes a piece of paper and hands it back to my boy Sean sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh, Sean, I didn't know it was like that. I thought we was friends. He didn't even include me. on this whole little cheating operation they got going on. But Sean sees me see him, and he comes up to me in the hallway after class. He's like, yo, Donde, if you want, I could hand you the answers, you know, while we taking the test. And I looked up at him and I was like, 9! And this would have been the first time that I actually get to be the free worker. See, cheating is an art, okay? So you don't use elementary cheat tactics in college. That's insulting. This is serious business, and when I get involved, junk gets real. And y'all already know, when I cheat, I go all out. I assemble a team, I get matching Mini Coopers for all of us, I enlist the aid of a tiny little Asian man to crawl through the ventilations, and by this point, I had already given up my bad boy ways. I'm on the road less traveled. Get up on my level. So I decline affiliation with this rudimentary, outdated cheating tactics. But next test, oh look, a loan book coincidentally open. I wonder how that got there. And it'd have been so easy for me to cheat because the teacher was not paying attention. We sat in the back row. At this point, it's free money. Imagine walking by an ATM and it's just spitting out money and everybody's going crazy. Oh my God, look at all this free money. And you're the only person being honest and not taking any of it. It was at this point that I devised Plan B, because I saw where all this was going. Every test they're getting A's, I'm getting C's, and sometimes worser. End of the semester rolls around, last test before the final. I start getting toward the end of the test, and I realize, you ain't gonna get a good grade in this class, bro. Execute Plan B. I put a little note at the bottom of the page saying, please see back. I start. Dear Mr. Osborne, bro, I've been struggling the entire semester to try to get a good grade in this class. I can't get it. And I don't know if you noticed, but people in your classroom be cheating, dog. I ain't gonna say no names because I ain't no snitch, okay? But they might have even asked me to cheat with them, and I said 9! And it's really hard to be an honest student getting bad grades and sitting by all semester watching dishonest students get good grades. Holla at a player. I'm just saying, I ain't no snitch. So don't even try to ask me who it is. I don't know if you got some extra credit I could probably do to get my grade up, but if you do, I'd appreciate it. Please let me know. Yo, homie, Swoozy. Follow me on Twitter, team follow back. Next day, teacher calls me into his office, and I'm like, yeah, Mr. Osborne, you wanted to see me about something? He's like, yeah, I read your little whatever on the back of your test. I'm like, hey, I hope you ain't calling me in here to rat on nobody, because I ain't no snitch, okay? No, I didn't call you in here for that. I was actually gonna... Okay, listen, fine. Since you put a gun to my head, I'll tell you. It's Sean and Sarah. They've been cheating all semester, and you don't even be paying attention. I know you over there doing your thing, but they be cheating every test, and they get A's, and I'm getting F. I'm just kidding, guys. I didn't snitch. I ain't no rat. But he was like, yeah, if you want extra credit, do X, Y, Z, turn it to me by this day, and I'll accept it. I got a C in that class. Holla at your boy. Now,
I can hear him talking in the hallways. Always late for...
Have you ever cheated on a test?
Yeah.
Did you get caught?
Of course not.
Do you know anyone that has gotten caught?
Yeah.
How were they punished?
They got their entire test taken away and got a 0.
When did you start cheating?
I don't know. High school.
And how often?
Not very often.
What were your methods of cheating?
Looking at my phone, looking at other people's stuff. I guess. I don't know.
Alright, thank you. Have you ever cheated?
Yeah.
Did you get caught?
Yeah.
What was your punishment?
I got a 0 on the quiz.
When did you start cheating?
10th grade.
And how often?
Like, once every other quiz.
What were your methods of cheating?
Anything.
Do you have any examples?
I put papers under my desk, look at other people's tests, look at my phone.
Alright, thank you.
Have you ever cheated?
Yes.
How have you cheated?
On a test in junior year. On my Regents exam.
When did you start cheating?
I started cheating with I don't know, I'd say in high school. When assignments were stupid, me and my friends would just copy each other's assignments and homework.
How else have you cheated?
The biggest thing I've ever done cheating was definitely on a Regents exam, and I got a 98 on my U.S. history. and my mom knew I didn't get an 90 on my U.S. history, so she was pretty disappointed in me, so that sucked. Other than that, it's just been like on stupid homeworks and stuff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have you ever cheated before?
Yes.
How have you cheated?
I don't know, I stared at other people's papers.
Okay. How often have you cheated?
I
Once
don't
in a
know.
while?
I haven't as much in college as I did in high school, I guess. But like, so I don't really.
Okay. Have you ever got caught?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks. Have you ever cheated on a test?
Yes.
How often have you cheated on tests?
Not often, especially not in college.
What kind of cheating do you do?
In high school, I would write down stuff on my hand for a test to remember it.
Have you ever got caught?
No.
Have you ever cheated?
Cheated on what?
A test.
A test? I don't recall.
Has anyone ever cheated off you?
Off of a test?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they would. I'm not very smart.
Yes, you are. Have you ever copied anyone's homework?
Oh, yeah, totally. Who doesn't?
Have you ever gotten punished for cheating?
No.
Do you know anyone that has gotten caught cheating?
Yes, actually. A couple kids in the grade above me in high school, they all used the same summer work for their AP US class, and I think they got kicked out of the class.
How do you cheat?
You know, you just kind of like look over. It's not that hard.
Have you ever cheated?
In what way?
Testing.
No.
Why haven't you cheated?
Because I'm a good student.
Have you ever seen anyone cheating?
Yep.
Do you let people cheat off you?
No.
Thank you.
I've cheated on multiple tests, almost all of them. I use my phone. I write little note sheets with all like really small handwriting, and I put them under my test and hide it. And no, I've never gotten caught, and I usually do pretty well on my tests.
When did you start? Like what grade?
7th.
All right. Thank you. Have you ever cheated before?
Yes.
Yeah.
How often?
Like once every test.
Every test. Almost every test.
How have you cheated?
Phone. Asian.
Looking at people's tests in front of me.
Has anyone ever cheated off of you?
Yeah.
Yes. Nah, I just cheat off people.
Thank you. Have you ever cheated?
No.
Why haven't you cheated?
Because cheaters go to hell.